It's Dave Lawrence, the Workforce Afternoon. How you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day, and it's a great thrill for me today. As you know, I'm originally from the Philadelphia area and have been heavily exposed to the music of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band growing up. And today we've got a real special day in that both guitarists in the E Street Band are on the Workforce. Two legendary cats in one day from one of rock's greatest legacies. Nils Lofgren was on earlier, and now for his latest appearance on my show, I believe his sixth time in my 5 years here, a good buddy, a strong supporter of the show. He's the owner of the Bada Bing, so he's real strong. You hear him every Sunday night on his underground garage. You see him on The Sopranos as Silvio Dante. He's in one of the greatest rock bands ever with a highly anticipated new CD, Magic, out in just days on October 2nd. From Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Little Steven. Aloha, brother.
Aloha, baby. Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
How are you, baby?
Good to hear from you, man. You've been a part of the ride from almost the very beginning.
That's right. We kind of started around the same time.
We really did. Of all the cats I talked to, I think you can appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's actually great. So I can totally relate to it.
When did your show actually start?
I think it's April 2nd.
Of '02?
Of '02.
Okay. So you got me beat by a few months. My mistake.
There you
go. And still going strong, man. It's crazy. Yeah. And yeah, you've been on every year since '03. So I guess we added you right around, I guess it was Christmas of '03 that we brought your show in. So we were in the beginning.
Yeah, that's pretty early because, we only started with 20 stations. So, we just passed, I think it was 145 stations now.
Wow.
Yeah, we're covering 200 markets, so 200 different cities here to show.
That is sick, man. Just throwing it down into so many places. How about the international front?
That's holding at about, I think it's 6 or 7. A lot of Scandinavia, Stockholm, Oslo, Copenhagen, Rome, like Guam. Singapore just changed formats. We were on in Singapore, and we got to get back on there. And somebody's talking to Tokyo right now, and Hong Kong, and we're talking to London. We've almost been on in London like 10 different times. So we'll get there eventually.
That's crazy. The show has just grown and grown and grown, and yeah, it's nuts for me, especially talking to you, because you've been on so many times, and you've been there with me literally almost from the very beginning. So it's a little spooky. And now, after all this time, you're really revving up with the E Street groove again. Now things are crazy, huh?
Yeah. We just started rehearsals this week, and we never rehearsed much. It goes from like doing almost nothing to like, bam, we're rehearsing, and then 4 weeks later we're on stage.
How is a typical day of rehearsing? What is it like? Describe for me your routine these days, like today or something.
My routine is sick right now. I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I gotta get through the tunnel before rush hour to rehearse in Asbury Park. We start rehearsals at 8:30. And we rehearse in the morning from 8:30 to like 12:30. And I try and get back to the city as quick as I can. I get back like 2 o'clock, 2:30. And then try and get some business done, try and get the show recorded. I got to get the Billboard column done.
So it's an 8:30 to 12:30 routine with those cats?
Yeah, something like that. Sometimes 1 o'clock or so. We just burned through everything. We already, we've been rehearsing since Monday, and we already learned a whole new album. And now we're just going back and, because what happens is you relearn the record because we record so quick. You don't get a chance to even learn the thing, and then you start to rearrange things for the live show because, sometimes you do something that's pretty close to the record, but a lot of times you'll, change an intro or change the end of the song or, mess around with it a little bit. We usually, rearrange things a little bit for the show. And then, then we start going through some of the older songs to see what we remember, what we don't. It's not much, not much time. We just kind of jump in, and then we'll continue to learn songs on the tour at soundcheck. We'll just go through 3 or 4 songs a day at soundcheck that maybe we haven't played, in a while, and refresh our minds. Or sometimes Bruce will just call something out in the middle of a show that we haven't rehearsed. He's done that too. So you kind of got to be ready. And at this point, it's the E Street Orchestra, so somebody in the band's bound to know the song. It's like, if a majority of the people know the song, then it's cool.
That's outrageous. We'll continue talking with Little Steven and hearing more about the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band rehearsals for their big tour after some classic Bruce on 105.9. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band here on 105.9 KPOI Workforce Afternoon. And this is Little Steven from Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band here on the show, and from the Underground Garage and stuff. The thing that's different about your gig with Bruce is that he has this reputation. He really just the set list has so many openings. There is no set list, right? He makes a new one every night.
Well, there is a set list that he makes, like, just minutes before going on stage. Just to give people like an outline of where things might go. and then, in between songs, you'll see him run over and yell something in my ear. He usually tells me, and I take care of my side of the stage, and he'll tell Nils, and Nils takes care of his side of the stage. And that gives everybody about 15, maybe 10 seconds to adjust to what we call an audible. It's an audible, which means he just changed the set, and I play a different guitar on almost every song. So you got to try and change guitar. The keyboard players have to change the settings on the keyboards, and
right.
A lot happens in that 10 seconds. So that kind of keeps the energy going.
That's James Brown style there.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
except he doesn't fine you guys if you screw it up.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, this band's so good that it's actually entertaining to me when we do screw up. Because it happens so rarely that if we ever have a train wreck, it's actually funny. So I mean, that's my day. I mean, I get back, like I say, 2:30, and I'm working on a bunch of things. I'm working on getting a TV show on, so we're trying to cast, all the dancers and stuff for this pilot we're supposed to shoot next month.
What kind of TV show?
It's called Underground Garage A Go-Go. It's just like Hullabaloo and Shindig and Ready, Steady, Go and American Bandstand. It's like, bands on TV and kids dancing and, some hosts and, maybe an actor will drop by and talk about his new movie. It's just basically getting some rock and roll back on TV. I mean, when we grew up, we had like 10 shows on TV. It was unbelievable. And now there's none. So, we need to get, one cool rock and roll show on. And so we're trying to shoot a pilot sometime in October. I got 3 days in between some gigs. We're trying to schedule it for that. And hopefully get something on in '08. And then I'm also working on our high school curriculum, which just got approved last week. We're going to announce it soon. But the Music Teachers Association just approved my curriculum. So now I'm going to organize the 40 best journalists in America to write these 40 chapters, which will be a rock and roll curriculum, which will go into every school from sixth grade through 12.
Wow.
In America, yeah. We should have that together sometime in the '08, '09, period. And then on top of all that, somewhere around 6 o'clock, I do 2 hours in the gym because poor Silvio's got to hit the road, baby. He's got to, he's got to go now. I got to get back to my original Little Steven. So, I think I told you when I got the gig, I intentionally gained 50 pounds.
Right.
And then the last 2 tours, I was filming and touring at the same time. So, I kind of like lost half the weight, and I was trying to keep a little bit on for Silvio. But now it's really all got to go. And so, over the next couple of months, I'll get back to the weight. But that's, it's a lot of work, man. If you forget, like, you're not 19 years old anymore, and it takes a minute. It's really a second career, getting back in shape.
Yeah, I can imagine, and that's crazy when actors do that kind of stuff for roles. I was curious when you first showed up and Bruce first saw you after, I don't know how long it had been since he last saw you. Does he like kid you or reference the Silvio thing at all? Is he like, look out, look who's here? I mean, does he goof?
Well, we never, we always been in touch. I mean, we even when he's doing his solo stuff, I mean, we would talk like every month anyway,
Right.
So it's not like.
But when he sees you in the flesh, does he have any kind of like? Because it must be weird for him. He's known you forever, and he's known you really intimately well, and so to see you now, you're just a different cat. I mean, now you're a legendary mobster.
Yeah, no, I think he was. He and most of my friends were a little bit surprised because. As surprised as I was, I mean, like, it was one of those things like, who knew, I mean, I think he was just, well, first of all, he loved the show, and most people I know, of course, love the show, so, they just treated it like, they weren't looking at the show, seeing me as a musician or the person they've known all their lives. They looked at the show and completely bought me as this other character.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the biggest compliment that I could be paid, because that's why I completely changed myself physically. I didn't want to be recognizable at all, and it really worked. It really did. I mean, it's a pain in the ass now because I got to get rid of this guy, but it really, really worked. I mean, it really did.
We'll hear more from Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band's Little Steven, also known as Silvio Dante from The Sopranos, after more classic Bruce on 105.9. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band on 105.9 KPOY, the Workforce Afternoon. Dave Lawrence with you, and we continue our discussion with Little Steven. And I've got to know, have any of the cast members from The Sopranos been asking you for tickets for the E Street Band tour with Bruce?
Just all of them. I mean, obviously, they're all going to be my guests, but yeah, I mean, when we tour, it's ridiculous. Especially this first leg, we're just doing like 10 weeks of hello, we have a new record out. I mean, it's like it's arenas and just hitting a few cities real quick. So these tickets are going to be really ridiculous. Once we start doing stadiums like usual, it won't be so bad.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So next summer, is that really the plan, that the summer of '08 you guys will do one of those massive stadium runs?
Yeah, that's when the real tour happens. You know what I mean? This is just like a...
This is the warm-up.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like a high. We got a new record out, check it out, and and then we're going to probably take a couple of months off, and in '08. And hopefully I can get some work done, maybe get a TV show on in that period, and then I don't know, March, April we may do a little bit more work and really go out next summer. I think for probably, who knows, could be a solid year. Who knows?
Wow, that's huge.
I mean, last time we did 10, 12. We must have done 14 stadiums just in our area, because we did 10 giant stadiums.
I know you did.
Plus, I think Shea Stadium, and then that's not counting like Philly and Boston, Washington. So just in our neighborhood, you know what I mean? just in our neighborhood, we did 20 stadiums. So we could easily be out for a year, no problem, because we did. 30 or 40 stadiums in Europe alone.
Man. Well,
Yeah.
the question here, of course, becomes, little Steven, with all this talk of stadiums, how about Aloha Stadium, baby? What are we going to do about that?
Hey, man, you know it's got my vote. I'm there because, I mean, we surprisingly, I don't know why this is, but we've never even done much, in the Far East at all. I mean, like, even, because that would give us a great excuse to stop in your neighborhood on the way,
Exactly.
So, I mean, like the last tour was the first time we ever played Australia in 30 years, or however long we've been playing, 35 years. And we've never played Japan. I mean, I played Japan, but I don't think the East Street Band's ever played Japan. That's, it's weird. And, sooner or later that's got to happen. So,
yeah, it would be next year if it was going to happen. It would be part of your stadium package for sure, or it would be part of your trip to Australia or Japan.
Yeah, which would not happen before summer of 08.
Yeah,
it's not,
that's what I expected to happen, really. I mean, I'm putting the
Yeah.
seed in your head way in advance for that stadium tour. But man, you two came here, Steven. They did the biggest show ever in the state of Hawaii. They did 47,000 tickets at Aloha Stadium. That was just in 06. So I gotta believe that Bruce and the East Street Band, man, that would be so epic to see that here.
Hey, man, I say we end the tour there so I can stay for about a month.
Dude, I love that. And
how about that, man? I'll be your co-host for a month.
I love that. You come by the show, that would be so.
Tear it up.
We would have a lot of fun.
I'm telling you, man. We'll have go-go girl contests every day. We will. I may never come home.
You could start doing the underground garage from here. Well,
that's it. I'll do it live.
I love that. That would be really cool. Well, definitely, you'll just keep it in mind. I got to do what I can to try to lure bands like that out here. I do think you guys could make it profitable to do a gig at the stadium, and certainly we're looking forward to the record. It's going to be gigantic. I love that Radio Nowhere thing. The only thing about it is this, Steven. I kind of find the ending of that song to be like the ending of the Sopranos show. It's very mysterious. It's like, where did it go? I really want to know how that song would end. The fade on that single, it just kills me when it happens.
You mean lyrically or what?
On Radio Nowhere, musically, the fade at the end, like I want to know how it ended. Like, I just wish I could, hear that come to a hard ending, and the fade. It's torture with the fade because it starts fading pretty quick when you get to the end of that single for Radio Nowhere. And, like, all of a sudden it's gone. It has a very mysterious ending. Maybe you'll notice that now. You take a listen to it. The fade, it just kills me at the end because I'm so into it. And then the song just disappears. And I'm like, I wonder how they would have ended that thing,
Hey, see, you got to come to the show to find out.
Well, I got to have the show not be 3,000 miles away, although I'd love to maybe next summer if you do like Dodgers or something, maybe I'd come to one of those.
Nah, we'll get you in, man. We'll get you to, if we don't come to you, we'll get you to the West Coast, man.
Well, if I want to for next year, can I email you and you'll help me try to buy tickets?
You don't have to buy tickets. You're my guest anywhere you show up.
Really?
Any city, anywhere in the world.
It's very, very nice of you, dude.
I got connections. Don't worry about a thing.
I know you do.
I know a guy who knows a guy. Don't worry about a thing.
Forget about it. That's my boy over there. Little Steven, I think the world of you. Listen for him every Sunday night at 10 on his Underground Garage show. Find him on the new East Street Band record Magic in stores October 2nd. Listen for that release continuously here on 105.9 and, of course, for relevant Bruce dates on the tour. And hey, man, it wasn't easy surviving 5 years on the air here, and you've been part of my show for almost the whole time. It means a lot that you'd be on during this week. I really appreciate it.
No, man, my pleasure and my honor to be your compatriot, your compadre, your co-conspirator, and I'm very, very. It's very cool that you help us spread the message to Hawaii, and we'll get there, man. We will get there.
I'd love to see it happen, and just know I do appreciate it. Always appreciate your
All right,
time.
my man.
It's always meant a lot, man, all the times you've been on the show. We've had some of our greatest conversations, and it's always dynamite talking to you, brother.
Great, man. Great. Same goes here. And, again, congratulations, man. Anytime.
That's kind of you, man. I look forward to talking to you soon. Stay in touch. Have a great tour.
You got it, Dave. All right.
Aloha, Steven.
Aloha, baby.
Hey baby, little Steven here. We are celebrating the 5th anniversary of my main man Dave Lawrence. Listen for your chance to win an invite to the party. That's right, and don't miss the concert either. Hey Davey, happy anniversary, baby. Hey baby, it's little Steven. There's a tasty Live at 5 coming up with our buddy Dave Lawrence. Hey baby, this is little Steven from the East Street Band and the Sopranos, but that's just hobbies. But more importantly, you're in the middle of a workforce block with the man himself, Dave Lawrence, which is right where you should be, baby. Yeah, baby, little Steven here, and I've got good news for you. It's that magical time of day that is celebrated every afternoon with my buddy Dave Lawrence. Hey, Dave, have a happy 420, buddy.